Gentlemen, remove your hats, and everyone please remain standing while the Papillion LaVista Community Schools Navy Junior ROTC Color Guard present the colors, and Rachel Spinks, Senior Class Treasurer, leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may please be seated.
At this time, please welcome Jacqueline Vogt, Senior Class Vice President.
My name is Jackie Vogt, and I'm the Senior Class Vice President for the Class of 2020. It is my honor this afternoon to welcome parents, guardians, family, friends, and most importantly, my fellow graduates to the live graduation ceremony for the Papillion LaVista South Class of 2020. This moment for us comes in the middle of an unprecedented time in the world. Yet through our hard work, determination, and with the help of those here to celebrate with us, and many others, we have reached this milestone together. Graduation is often a time to look back and reflect on what brought us here and to appreciate our time as Titans. It is also a time for us to look forward and consider the impact that we can and will have on the world. We are the class of 2020, and there is nothing we cannot overcome. Congratulations, Titans.
We now welcome to the stage Shaylee Wiese, Senior Class Secretary.
We would like to take time to recognize the effort and talents of the seniors who participated in our online honors night and graduation ceremonies. We specifically want to thank Caitlin Gray and Jackie Vogt for their honors night speeches, Rebecca Strohmeyer for her rendition of the national anthem at graduation, and our choir students for their timely and wonderful graduation rendition of Waving Through a Window. We also want to thank the two graduates who represented our class by giving the honor addresses at our virtual ceremony in May. During a time of incredible uncertainty and challenges, Riley Perrick and Parker Curtis provided us wonderful messages on the importance of reflecting on where we have been, the people and events who have helped shape who we are, and considering the impact that the class of 2020 can and will have on the world. Would you all please join me in showing some appreciation for their messages that they shared with us during that time? Thank you.
Please welcome Dr. Andy Rickley, Superintendent of Papillion LaVista Community Schools, to address the senior class of 2020.
Happy Sunday, everyone. It's a great day to be a Titan. Graduates, parents, family, and friends, as the superintendent of the Papillion LaVista Community Schools, graduation is truly one of the highlights of the year. And what a year it's been. There's an old saying, may you live in interesting times. The last several months have been nothing if not interesting. Many of us likely wondered if we would even have a commencement ceremony. But here we are today, celebrating our graduates and their accomplishments in the midst of truly historic times. Many of you may have noticed yard signs scattered across our community with pictures of our high school graduates, congratulating them for their efforts. One specific example even proclaimed the current group of graduates to be the quarantine class of 2020. At first glance, this seemed like nothing more than a humorous play on words, but as I reflected on this notion, it disappointed me. It disappointed me because all of you here today are so much more than simply a quarantine class. On the contrary, this group of Titan graduates represents the best, brightest hope for our country's future. This global pandemic is no small matter, to be sure. It has caused untold misery across our planet and across our community. We must never forget those who have sacrificed to protect us and those who have lost so very much. There is no question, seniors, this is not the senior year that you asked for. The canceled prom, spring sports and activities, plays and musicals, the last walk through the hallways, and bittersweet goodbyes to your favorite teachers and favorite classmates. But today is a time to accentuate the positive, and there are so many positives to focus on. This group of Titan graduates donated hundreds of hours in community service to support our most vulnerable families and children during desperate times. This group of Titan graduates helped school officials organize a series of celebrations, including the fireworks display at Werner Park and the Light the Field event at Foundation Field, so our seniors could have a few special moments before they left. This group of Titan graduates experienced a senior year cut short of some of the most important milestones high school graduates experience, all without complaining or drawing attention to themselves. In short, this group of Titan graduates showed us what positivity and grace look like in extremely difficult circumstances. Graduates, wherever your paths lead you this fall, the military, college, or directly into the workforce, I am confident that you won't forget the lessons you've learned over these last 5 months. Positivity, bravery, a sense of humor, resiliency, and perhaps most important, a dedication to the community that you love. To our families in attendance today, thank you for being patient with us as we navigate these unprecedented times. To our seniors, please know how much we love you and how very proud of you we are of each of you. On behalf of the Board of Education and Administration, congratulations. Go Titans.
Each year, we ask those in attendance to please respect the people around them by not using air horns and other noise makers. There are many in the audience who are sensitive to these types of noises, including babies, children, senior citizens, and people with special needs. Unfortunately, we have experienced in the past noisemakers that then cover up the next name to be read. This is disrespectful to those families and other graduates who have also earned the privilege of attending this momentous celebration. Your help in that is appreciated. We now present the class of 2020. Presenting is Mr. Jeff Spilker, principal of Papillion LaVista High School.
All right, good evening and congratulations to the class of 2020. It's hard to believe we are finally here at an in-person graduation. It's an exciting day for you, it's an exciting day for your families, and it's an exciting day here for our administrative team. I can't tell you how proud of you we are. Your 4 years at Papillion South have been absolutely amazing, and we will miss you. I want to start off my remarks with a couple of huge thank yous from our administrative team here at Papillion LaVista South High School. First, I want to thank Dr. Rickley and our Board of Education. We were able to put on a fireworks show, honors night, virtual graduation, and now an in-person graduation because this group of outstanding leaders wanted to do everything they could to celebrate this special group. So please join me in thanking them for their efforts. Second, we would like to do a big thank you to our former head principal, Mr. Jeff Johnson. Mr. Johnson retired on July 1st. We were going to play a game of Where's Waldo because I figured my remarks might bore you. So we've hid him in the crowd. Because of retirement rules, he can't be with us today. But then I thought playing Where's Waldo with Mr. Johnson may not be appropriate and may not give him the recognition he deserves. So he's up top here with us today. If you join me in a big thank you for all of his service to Papillion LaVista South High School. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Once a Titan, always a Titan. Class of 2020, on August 16th, 2016, we were in the theater at Papillion LaVista South High School. It was the first day of your freshman year, and you walked in and I could sense there was a lot of nervousness. And I was lucky enough that day to teach you your first lesson as a Titan. Does anybody remember what that was? Of course not. No, I'm joking. It was a lesson on grit, and we talked about in that lesson how grit was one of the most important personal traits that you could have. We talked about how perseverance, passion, and endurance would lead you to success in your high school years. We wanted to send you the message that if you don't quit, you cannot fail. Today, I am in a lucky spot again. I get to teach you your last lesson as a Titan. My lesson today is one I learned in college. It was one of my mythology classes for teaching. And we would go into that class and we would watch a video of a classroom. Sometimes it was elementary, sometimes it was middle school, sometimes it was high school. And then we would talk about if we were the teacher, what would we have done differently? What things worked, what things didn't work? Well, it was the last day of this college class that I was taking. And we walked in and we kind of thought maybe we're gonna have a food day or do something fun, something to celebrate the end of another college course completed. We walked in that day and the professor said to us, we're gonna watch the most important lesson that I've ever seen in education. That right there made me curious. It was a 6th grade teacher. This 6th grade teacher got in front of his class on the last day of school. So right then I was thinking, this is gonna be a lesson on how to control chaos. Because if you think back to your last day of 6th grade, it probably was maybe a movie, maybe there was games, maybe there was candy. It was probably a lot of fun. And this teacher, though, was going to teach a lesson to his class. He got up in front of the class, and the class was kind of disappointed. They wanted the fun and games. He told the class, "Today is going to be the most important lesson that I teach you all year." The class was in disbelief. They wanted the fun. The teacher said to the class, "What is the most devastating disease in America?" These kids were sharp. They thought for a moment, and they started shouting out, "Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, AIDS, Alzheimer's, tuberculosis." The teacher quickly jumped to the whiteboard, and he wrote all of their answers down. He told them they were all very good answers, but he had a better one. Then he reached in his wallet. I don't know if mine's going to come out as easy. But he grabbed his wallet, and he reached in his wallet, and he grabbed a $20 bill. He held that $20 bill up in front of the class, and he said, "Who wants this $20 bill?" And they all raised their hands. He then took the $20 bill and he crumbled it up. He made it into a really small crumbled up bill, and he said, "Who wants this bill?" And everybody in the class raised their hands. He then took the $20 bill, he threw it on the floor, and he stomped on it. He picked it up, he said, "Who wants this $20 bill?" And everybody in the class raised their hands. He walked over to a potted plant, took some dirt, rubbed it all over the $20 bill, and he said to the sixth graders, "Who wants this $20 bill?" And they all raised their hands. Then his last move was to take the $20 bill and rub it under each of his armpits. He said, "Who wants this $20 bill?" And every sixth grader raised their hand. He then said to the class, "Why do you still want this bill?" A hand shot up from a young man in the back of the classroom, and he yelled out, "Because it's still worth $20. He said to the class, "Exactly. You are just like that $20 bill. No matter how bad you do on a test, no matter how many games you lose, no matter how many times people criticize you in public or on social media, no matter how many times you get turned down for a job, no matter how many times you get denied for a scholarship or for a college that you really wanted to go to, no matter what happens to you, you will never lose your value." He turned around and he looked at the whiteboard. He said, "Cancer is devastating." He said, "Heart disease is devastating. Diabetes and AIDS are devastating diseases. But the most devastating disease is a loss of self-esteem. The disease when we let what happens to us and the difficult things that we go through steal our self-worth." The kids in the class, they started clapping. They learned that day, and I want you to learn the same thing right now in your last lesson as a Titan, that there's a fortune inside of you. There is greatness inside of you. There is excellence inside of you. Never let anything or anyone diminish your value. Graduates, it's now time for you to show the world what you can do, and we all cannot wait to witness it. Dr. Rickley and members of the Board of Education, it is with great honor and pride that I present the 17th graduating class of Papillion LaVista South High School. The Papillion LaVista South High School graduating class of 2020 has met all of the requirements set forth by the Papillion LaVista Board of Education. They have received their diplomas and they have been celebrated online, but one item is remaining, and that is the walk across the stage. Now is that time. Ushers, would you please present our first row of graduates?
Rachel M. Larson. Alexandra M. Watson, magna cum laude. Monique Marguerite Gaspard, summa cum laude. Isabella Bergen, cum laude. Elena E. Auk. Margaret Mary Neighbor. Rain B. Craver. Kaya Drew Harrison. Chloe Alexis Click, cum laude. Brooke C. Buck. Hunter Austin Thompson. Emily M. McDowell, cum laude. Jamond D. Copeland. Parker L. Curtis, magna cum laude. Aubrey Leip Brinkman, summa cum laude. Peyton Ann de Tavernier, magna cum laude. Elise Lynn Fitzpatrick, cum laude. Emily R. Bland, summa cum laude. Jacqueline Olivia Vogt, summa cum laude. Sophie Jean Denker, magna cum laude. Hannah L. Westerdale, cum laude. Brandon N. Scheiding. Jeffrey Frost. Chelsea M. Nderu. Caitlin N. Laird. Ainsley G. Irwin, magna cum laude. Kaylee Mielke. Emily Brassfield, cum laude. Nathaniel Elijah Degernis. Nicholas Lagman. Kaylin Jean Gray. Emma Catherine Franco. Emily Grace DeZafra. Rebecca Lee Strohmeyer, magna cum laude. Ashlyn B. Kahn, cum laude. Samuel Joseph Romshek, cum laude. Ian Patrick Bishop. Sabrina Lorraine Jacobs. Cade Matthew Cameron. Josephine Nicole Rose Barrett. Christopher David Ewing, summa cum laude. Taylor Lynn Coit. Dylan Michael Anderson. Justin Logan Hansen, summa cum laude. Elizabeth May Lamberty, cum laude. Madison Brianna Rushing, magna cum laude. Sierra N. Somer. Keenan Kwan. Elijah T. Castro Luttrell. Brandon Leland Tiedemann. Samantha Marie Adamski. Courtney Michelle Hamilton. Adriana Marie Pickenpaw. Joshua Steenhook. Gabriella A. Laws. Kaylee Renee McCartney. Andrew Hansen. Tyler Jackson Lee. Chelsea Amber Sislow. Kayla Sweeney. Sarah Taylor Salisbury. Sekaya N. Simmons. Blake R. Kikafer. Austin Michael Ellard. Alexis Elizabeth Furs, magna cum laude. Emma K. Barnes, magna cum laude. Max Emerson Brooks, summa cum laude. Logan Daniel Mercier, summa cum laude. Tristan Xavier Birch, summa cum laude. Daniel Luke Schumacher. Danielle Elizabeth Lawrence. Amber Elizabeth Dakota Beasley. Zoe Marie Rose. Noah J. Gardenier, Jr. Jack D. Warner. Nathan J. Shelbourne, cum laude. Colby Dean Thurman. Leslie Dixon. Madison R. Geese. Cameron Rose Crittenbrink. Aaron Todd Madden. Daniel Thomas Bridges. Jade E. Chapman, summa cum laude. Sushma Miriam Columban. Alex D. Irizarry. Joseph Edward McIntosh. Mackenzie Lee Peterson. Rachel M. Spinks, cum laude. Sarah L. Remmers, cum laude. Kylie R. Muller, summa cum laude. Abigail R. Toynton, magna cum laude. Shaylee Elizabeth Caroline Wiese, magna cum laude. Edward J. Mincy. Haley K. Mosley. Ashley Dawn Schutt. Brinley Alexis Weaver, cum laude. Camry Nicole Miranda, cum laude. Jessica Denault. Marley Elizabeth Dotson. Malia Louise Mentel. Emma Jo Neeson, summa cum laude. Heidi Nicole McPherson, summa cum laude. Hannah Christine Cochran, magna cum laude. Brian M. Wilson. Ethan David Boucher. Jordan E. Hall, cum laude. Aaron Ray Charleston, summa cum laude. Brendan T. Edick. Olivia Jane Baker. Maggie Christine Sewer. Renee Elizabeth Gold. Kelsey Laura Wickwire. Kyle A. Lang. Kristen Wells McDermott. Stephen Anthony Taylor. Austin Taylor. Dylan Matthew Obenchain. Faith Christian Marie Anderson. Gracie Rollins. Angelis Ramirez. Braden Myers. Emily Evelyn Nelson, magna cum laude. Alexis M. Hoover. Trennan R. Wilson, summa cum laude. Yeah. Hannah Grace Privatera, cum laude. Bronson Weeks. Alexis Khalil Miranda, magna cum laude. Travis Joel Irksey. Michael J. Baker. David P. Jabins, cum laude. Joseph Santo Backelman Arrigo. Derek Anthony Starkweather. Kinley W. Wright. Juliana J. Perry. Isabel Yunji Yi, summa cum laude. Amber Danae Rodriguez. Alexandria Lee Schwerdfeger. Madison Mary Hurst, summa cum laude. Josephine Joy Willard, cum laude. Sydney Marie Zeke, summa cum laude. Jackson L. Reynolds. Chance Allen Loveland. Brittany Christine Carlson. Taylor E. Dixon. Please welcome Senior Class President Kaylin Gray, who will now give the farewell address.
The guide and I into the hidden road now entered, to return to the bright world. Without care of having any rest, we mounted up, he first and I the second, till I beheld through a round aperture some of the beauteous things that heaven doth bear. Thence we came forth to re-behold the stars. End quote. How often do you look outside into the night and not turn your head up towards the stars? Dante, the narrator of my beginning quote, knew the ethereal power of those glowing specks. He starts his book Inferno on Earth, depressed and wandering alone in the woods. After a traumatizing journey through hell, the first thing he sees, and the last thing we read, is his thankfulness to finally see the stars again. As a child, I used to fear those shining speckles above my head. My trepidation came from the unknown. If the universe is always expanding, what is it expanding into? Why is space so dark? Are we alone? The ever-expanding blackness is what manifested my fear, never the stars. Eventually, I went on to take more advanced science classes, and more of my questions were answered, my fear turning into indifference. However, it wasn't until entering high school that my English classes turned my indifference into admiration. I realized I had spent so much time in fear of what lied in the darkness of the night that I had never turned my eyes to the luminescence of the stars. There is a beauty in the ability for something to radiate so defiantly against the darkness, a proof of energy and divinity that is able to reach us from places far, far away from here. The poet that turned my attention to this, as well as the beauty of the rest of nature, was Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman, one of the most celebrated poets in the American timeline, shares his admiration for the stars in one of his poems titled, "When I Heard the Learned Astronomer." He starts the verse off by describing an astronomer who, while learned and celebrated for his ability to measure and graph the stars, he has no interest in actually looking at the beauty of them. Whitman writes, "How soon unaccountable I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself into the mystical, moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars." End quote. Whitman wanted us, the reader, to understand that finding the true beauty of something doesn't come in overanalyzing the pattern of or graph out the cycles of it, but to simply stare and fill yourself with its light. Both Dante and Whitman understood the glory of the light and the darkness. Dante wrote his work after being exiled from the city of Florence that in his time was the hub of knowledge, culture, and art. Whitman wrote his poem after the Civil War and the death of Abraham Lincoln. Both writers had a reason to stare into the abyss, to lie in the darkness of their environment. Instead, they took to the stars and allowed the light to baptize them in spirit, knowledge, and most importantly, in hope. Today, there is a lot of darkness around us, but instead of allowing it to envelop us, we should look to the cluster of small sprites of light around us. It is there that we will find beauty, we will find hope, and most importantly, we will find joy again. And if you are willing, which I know you are, and capable, which I know even more, I encourage you to become that beacon of light for those around you and those yet to know you. Congratulations, class of 2020. And in the words of Dr. Trent Steele, go learn.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Brett Brassfield, School Board President, to recognize these graduates.
Friends, family, staff, graduates, good afternoon. I'll only take a few moments of your time, but first, let me say thanks for coming today. While your numbers are certainly smaller, you represent the class of 2020. What a great group. It's good to see you. Give them an applause. You know, it's hard to believe that it's been nearly 5 months since you last walked the halls. Again, thank you for coming here today. You know, graduation marks an ending, but commencement is a ceremony or a celebration of receiving that diploma. But commencement has an additional meaning. It also means a beginning or a start. Some of your fellow classmates have already started their journey, entering the workforce, departing for college early for fall sports, or enlisting to serve our great country. Many of you will be starting school in the coming weeks and will begin your post-high school education. I know the excitement can be overwhelming and you're eager to start your new and your unique journey, chosen only by you. Please do me one favor before we go. Take a look around. Look at your classmates. Look in the stands at your friends and your family. These are the people who have helped lay the foundation of who you will become. When you see them next, say thank you, give them a hug, or a simple gesture of gratitude. Take time to savor the adventure that you're about to embark on. Sometimes we're so eager to get to the adventure or the next step, we miss the adventure or don't enjoy it once we arrive. It's happened to us all. It's happened to me. Now I have one last task, and I'm not going to lie, this is the favorite part of serving my community. Graduates, would you please rise? This one's eager over here. She's ready to go. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'll let you get set. You're all right. No, you're all good. That's a one big selfie, I tell you what. On behalf of the Board of Education of Papillion LaVista Community Schools, thank you for your commitment to our community in this district. Now turn those tassels. You're again officially graduates of Papillion LaVista South High School. Congratulations.
Soon, the new graduates will recess out the front of the arena where they will be given a small gift provided by the Papillion LaVista Schools Foundation. Please meet up with your graduate outside the building. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the recessional.
Thank you.